My name is Charles H. Brawley. I want to welcome you to the Zodiac kill map. As many of you may know already, if you watched the first video, which is the 1 hour video that I made on the Zodiac Kane map. When I began this quest, I focused on one serial killer, one man that I can almost prove is one of the Zodiac killers in California. And if you noticed, I said killers. You heard me correctly. Because what I've discovered with this map is there is no lone killer. Today, we're going to focus on one case that I picked from this map. These circles that you are seeing within the map, everywhere, poking up, these are what I call kill zones. This is all based on the original map of Lawrence Kane. And what I discovered is absolutely incredible. That this kill map goes way beyond California, as you can see. It treks all the way up into Canada, down on the edges of Mexico and beyond. Treks clear across the United States, clear up into New York and into the eastern parts of Canada. And this map is not complete yet. This is the basic first map that I created off the Lawrence Kane map, and this is what it produced. Okay, this is a scary reality right here. You know, this whole thing was based off of one man that I suspected as being the Zodiac killer, and what I discovered is far worse. So what I decided to do is create a series of short videos explaining each one of these locations as I investigate them. I've been all over this map looking into different things. I've even looked up into here. You know, this was the Goodhart murders from the 1960s. Mysterious kill, you know, right up in the point of Michigan here, the cabin murder. Well, I find it really ironic that it ended up on the Zodiac kill map. Just the other day, I pulled up a new find right here. The Zodiac kill map extends down from all the way from San Francisco and lands perfectly on Hollywood, Florida, which makes this another kill zone. Okay, that is my newest find, and I will get into that video later, which we'll discuss in more detail. I've already created one video for what I believe is the Florida Zodiac. According to the info on Mr. Walsh that I read, that this particular Zodiac calls himself the Scorpio. To many of you, this does not make sense. To me, this makes perfect sense, and I'm going to show you why later. Because what I discovered is the Zodiac symbol goes beyond just that symbol. It's not a gun sight. It's not a Celtic cross, as people will have you believe. It's not some cult symbol. What it is, it's actually a compass reading, a really sophisticated one, and we will get into that later as well. Today we're going to focus on a different area. I'm going to change the page here real quick, and we will move on to a different area of the United States on the West Coast. This particular case focuses on San Clemente Island in Santa Catalina. I find it ironic that these 2 points show up within the Zodiac kill zone, even right here in the middle of the ocean for some reason. Something happened right there. Maybe they dumped a body, who knows? Maybe they found a body, who knows? But this here just happens to be a military site of some sort. And when I looked into this little island here, I found it real crazy that it showed up on this map, period, because there was actually a whole bunch of murders that took place way back when, a long time ago, almost 100 years ago. And even in modern times, there's been murders that's unexplained on this island. And this here, you know, the only thing I can explain for this island there is that's 100% military. Whatever's going on there is going on within their own ranks, and I don't care what they say. You know, they're not going to tell you, they're not going to tell me, they're not going to tell the police. You know, mysterious murders like that, you know, they're going to stay mysterious. Okay, now, Santa Catalina Island. You know, this was a really strange one for me, and it's why I picked it. You know, I was looking at this map when I was doing my national line checks, you know, for more accuracy, because I've actually had one news reporter from Northern California that seems to think she knows what she's talking about. I'm proving to the world most of these people are dead wrong about the Zodiac killer. And this lady tried to tell me, if it's a lady, I believe it is. I'm not going to mention any names. I really don't care what they think. My map is proven so accurate, it's incredible. I'm finding more and more cold cases all over this thing that are very related to the Zodiac. Regardless of what these people are saying, this map is finding more and more kills nationwide. Okay. I've worked this map. I did not go out and look for these murders on my own. You know, basically what I did is I drew the lines across the map to see where they end up, and then, you know, basically marked the kill zones. Okay, and I've been doing this all over the country. Wherever these national and county and state lines cross, you know, they're considered a kill zone or a drop zone or some other use by the possible killer. Who knows? He may have just passed through there, like I said in the original video. There might be a gas station there they stopped at, and they might have broke down on the side of the highway, or they just stopped to take a leak. Who knows? Every single one of these spots, everywhere there is one of those kill zones, it needs to be checked and vetted for the correct info. See if there's any cold cases related to the Zodiac cases. And I have found several that are real similar to some of the known Zodiac cases. You know, I'm not the police. I can't get in there and get the facts and the actual evidence that they have and compare. You know, I can only show you what I found on this map. Now, for this Santa Catalina, that is the Natalie Woods murder. Okay? Many of you don't know who she is, many of you do. And just so you know, there she is. This is what she looked like just before she died. Apparently she was with the movie star Robert Wagner and a Captain Davern. I'm not sure if I even pronounced his name. It might be Davyns. Earlier in the year I mentioned that there are multiple killers. And the way I come across this was just all the kill zones that I found, and I came to the conclusion that there's no way one man could have did all these murders. So I started looking at it a different way. Why would these people call these murders the Zodiac? You know, why would the guy name himself that? There's got to be a reason. So I laid that compass down on the map that I was telling you about when I did the Lawrence Kane thing. And if you watched the original video, the very first one, you saw the kill map based on Lawrence Kane. The whole video was based on it. Okay, and all I did was lay a compass over New York, and it led me right to Louisiana where he was married. Okay, and then from there it led me right to San Francisco where he lived, and the end zone, which I found really disturbing, ended up right there on Cherry Street, basically implicating Lawrence Kane as that killer. Once again, I believe there are multiple killers. So I got to thinking about this a little more. What if I took a Zodiac wheel and laid it out over the kill zone and then put the compass underneath of it to see what was going on? And what I found was very ironic. And we will get into that right now. This is what I come up with. Okay. When you laid the map out, this is what I got. Lawrence Kane just happens to be the tourist. Richard Gagowski ended up being the Pisces. Arthur Lee Allen, Sagittarius. Then I got to thinking, well, why would they do this? Then I got to thinking again that maybe each one of these guys had their own kill zones that they worked in. Lawrence Kane worked a specific area. This man worked another specific area. This man, I believed, worked the highways and the beach areas in some of the Northern California murders. My biggest question was, who is the Virgo? And you know, you can tune this dial to any direction you want. These three guys were the only ones that lined up like this, in perfect sync with the Zodiac symbol itself. And I got to thinking, well, there's got to be another man. None of this made sense. Okay, I spent weeks trying to figure out who the Virgo killer was. I went through every single known suspect and not one of them were Virgos. Okay, so I got to thinking, maybe there's something I'm missing. And there sure was. And we'll go back on this here to San Diego. Like I said, when I pulled up this map and started looking and focused on this, I went to Santa Catalina and I started looking at cold cases. You know, I never heard of this Natalie Woods case before. You know, it was pretty much news to me. You know, I heard of Robert Wagner through Mark Lincoln Miller, but he had never really mentioned anything about this story with these people that were on this boat that night. So when I started vetting all this, I didn't see the Natalie Woods case at first. When I got through all the cases, it popped up last, and I was shocked that Natalie Woods was right bullseye in the Zodiac kill zone, meaning that this woman was targeted by somebody before she ever got in that boat. And I wanted to know who it could possibly be. Every one of those men that I showed you have military backgrounds of some sort. They're all known suspects in the Zodiac case. And I got to thinking, that fourth man, he's going to be a military man, most likely Navy. He's going to be a Virgo, and he's probably going to be connected somehow to a murder that's very well known. Well, when I pulled up this Natalie Woods case, I started looking at Robert Wagner. He wasn't the guy, you know, and you definitely know Natalie Woods wasn't the guy. I don't believe she killed herself or fell off that boat accidental. But then I got to looking at this captain, and I started running some background checks on this man, and guess what? I found the fourth man that I was looking for with a very popular known possible murder, the Natalie Woods case. It turns out that Captain Davern was trained on the East Coast with the U.S. Navy, and he happened to be a Virgo. What are the odds of that? Now, some of you are probably wondering who Captain Davern is. Well, there he is. Last we heard, he was living down in Florida working in some sort of marina. Now the question is this man the fourth Zodiac? He matches everything else. He's a Virgo. He's a military man. He's a captain. He had direct access to Natalie Wood. He lied. He altered his story multiple times. I believe this man killed her. I believe Natalie Woods pissed somebody off because from what I understand, she had a real bad attitude at times. And I think she aggravated or pissed off the wrong person either in Hollywood or within the government somehow. And Mr. Wagner was an up-and-coming star, and they didn't want the embarrassment. And I believe somebody eliminated Miss Woods. I don't know how this man is connected, but what I do know is he's U.S. Navy, and he was in the Navy at the right time to be part of the little LSD mind control program. Now, I'm not saying that that's what went on, and that's what actually the Zodiac is. I don't believe that at all, actually. I believe these guys are just a group of trained killers that, somehow are connected to either the Central Intelligence Agency or a private kill team of some sort, or company that provides those type of services. I don't know how, I don't know when. You're asking the wrong person. All I'm showing you is the facts about this man. What I have found about this case, is it makes no sense why it would end up on the Zodiac kill map. It's hard to figure out. A lot of people tried, and I believe this map is the closest anybody has got to solving anything within this case. And what I'm learning more and more about this, when you start looking at all this on the national map, like I showed you earlier, I'll show it to you again. You can see the scale of what I'm talking about just in the California region alone. I mean, look at this. This is all the Northern California stuff, all the known stuff, in the movies, TV, publicized. Then you got Santa Barbara, the Modesto stuff. But then how do you explain all this surrounding Lawrence Kane? Lawrence Kane right up the road. Lawrence Kane all around here, known to go to, whatever that lake was, Tahoe, I think it is. Dana Lull, I mean, it's all right here. But what I find convenient is this San Diego killing with Natalie Woods, because this is all Lawrence Kane down into here. This original map was based on him. All this San Diego stuff and down in the bottom of California, this is all recently added when I filled in the national stuff. And Captain Davern shows up, lined up perfect with a known murder suspect. The odds of that happening are astronomical. And it's even more astronomical that this national map, when I've ended up finished with it, pointed right into another movie star kill. My question is, or what are all these other spots? I haven't vetted a lot of this yet. You know, I've vetted a lot of this stuff up here in Utah, and I found 3 kills there that are possible Zodiac. And the list just goes on the farther we go national. I'm gonna end this video, and we're gonna move on to the Dana Law case. And I'm gonna show you how convenient that one was to the San Diego. And I believe that this Captain Davern could possibly be one of the Southern California killers that worked down this area way back when. You know, I can't swear to that, but he could be connected to some of this Southern California stuff. I found a couple of murders in downtown San Diego where they were just like somebody walked into a store and started offing people and then turned around and walked out type stuff. Similar to like that cab driver murder. Guy gets in, goes a couple of blocks, pulls him over, and then basically blows the guy's brains out. Same thing with this store. You know, same type of military weapon, handgun. There's 2 identical murders that I found in San Diego, and that was like my 3rd try into the cold cases, and I haven't even looked at all of it. There's so much of it that I could spend quite a bit of time just in San Diego alone. But that's where you people come in if you're willing to help and get involved in this and create your own map like I suggested. You could basically come up with this same scenario, and what you're going to learn that this map goes way beyond what you're seeing here. I found that it treks across the globe, and I've actually found some cross-connecting points that will blow your mind, people. I mean literally. Very old cold cases, mysterious murders around the world, very well known cases ended up on this Zodiac kill map. My name is Charles H. Brawley. I'm the creator of the MINUTEMAN files. I want to welcome you to the Zodiac kill map. I own the copyrights to all this stuff, so stay away. I hope this helped you understand the Natalie Woods case. As you can see, I simply followed the national lines and it led me right to her. All of that originally was based off the Lawrence Kane map. I'm not saying Lawrence Kane had anything to do with Natalie Woods. I'm just saying that the Zodiac kill map connected this to the Natalie Woods case, telling me that it was a planned murder, an actual Zodiac kill, helping me prove that there's more than one killer. Because when you connect these kills, you know, the different suspects I'm finding are the different Zodiacs. And it's like I said, I believe there's a group of these killers, possibly 12 of them, one for each Zodiac. You know, and then when you start looking across the country over there in the East Coast, you end up with the John Walsh case. And in the end, the man comes up calling himself the Scorpio. My name's Charles H. Brawley. In file.